Welcome everyone to part two of the Morocco trip that I went on. We will continue moving along through Morocco. As I mentioned last week, focusing on Fez this week, Fez, Morocco. So if you're looking at the screen there, you look at it zoomed in. Towards the bottom of this picture is Fez. You can see it on the map there. That's where this episode focuses on. And we spent an awesome day and a half there, 2 days, and really enjoyed it. So here we go. These first few pictures here are of the beautiful riad that we stayed at while we were there. You can see that it's beautiful lit up, and this is a picture of the room that I was in, and we were on the rooftop. It was amazing. And then, as I showed last week, this is early in the morning. I got up, did some yoga, did a little workout, and got to see, the city waking up. So we started the morning at the King's Palace in Fez, and you can see it's just beautiful from the outside, and the tile work all around the city, to be honest, was amazing, but especially here was just absolutely incredible. So that was really fun to get to see all of that, see the intricacies of the tile work, and just learn a little bit more about the history of the kings of Morocco and the history of Morocco as well. So this picture might not look that significant, but it was interesting because our guide was telling us that, there's a huge Jewish influence in Morocco, among a whole number of other influences. But you can see that has a Jewish influence here because there's balconies on the outside. The Islamic religion kind of deters away from having balconies on the outside, rather they're on the inside. So you can see when there is balconies outside, that's probably a different culture. So I thought that was really interesting. So after that, we went up to a lookout point above the city and outside of everything, and got to see a different perspective of the city, which is just amazing to see, this different point of view of the chaos that is the old Medina and the old city of Fez. So our next stop in Fez was the Art d'Argyle here, and it was amazing to see, a lot of the workers actually, making the different tiles and pots and things like that, and just seeing the intricacies of what they were doing and how hard that is. It was amazing. I mean, that was a tough job that I don't think a lot of us could do here, and they were just so skilled and could do it so quickly. But yeah, definitely a tough job to make all the plates and stuff that they were making from the tile. But this was an awesome stop here. So yeah, you can take a look at this little video of this guy who's been there for like 20 plus years, who's making a clay pot.
So Muhammad, he will give a demonstration. What you can do, Muhammad? Muhammad can do like tagine. You know tagine? Yeah. Tagine, if you know, is famous in Morocco. But you don't eat a lot of tagine before you leave your home. Because if you eat a lot, your stomach will fat. Look at how they cut it with a string. See? Wow. Next, I put the cover.
And here's some of the finished product in their showroom, which of course you go into at the end of the tour. I did buy a few things. I got some really cool little things, little tiles from them that are beautiful, and I couldn't believe what they were selling them for. Uh, if you bought them in the U.S., it would be 10 times the cost that it was there. So yeah, it was, I don't know, it was just beautiful in there, and of course some mint tea to end the tour there. And from there, we went into the Medina of Fez, which is world renowned. I believe it's technically a UNESCO site. It is a maze of alleyways, and I'm so glad that we had a guide for this part because I would have never found my way out. I think there was something like 9,000 plus streets inside the Medina. It's massive and it's a maze. But there are so many cool little shops. There's a camel. You can get the camel meat there along with other stuff. There's yarn. There's trinkets. There's everything that you could imagine in the Medina there, and that's where all the shopping and the hub of life is. So these next few pictures here are of the oldest university in the world, started in the 9th century by a female, which was super interesting. We got to go into part of it, which you'll see here. You'll see some of the dorm rooms, or I guess, and the little square there. But I mean, look at the intricacies of the design there and how much time and effort went into this. I mean, it's insane. Way back when too, in the 9th century, and as years have gone on, I mean, there's just amazing work there and just so beautiful. But it was fun to get to see a little piece of it there, a little piece of the university there. Nowadays, the school is an Islamic studies school. So if you're training to become a priest there in the Islamic religion, that's where you train now.
Ahora podemos ir hacia la sala de rezo.
All right, so now we're at the tannery in Fez, and you can see here these are the vats where they can dye the leather and do the natural process there. It was pretty interesting to learn about. They're still doing it the way that they did it 1,000 years ago, and they still use all natural ingredients. It's all natural, stuff that they can find. It's not anything that's artificial. The white stuff there is actually pigeon poop too, so that's how natural it is. And then you'll see here some of the leather hanging up. And then we went, after learning about it, we went down into the store and had multiple levels of all sorts of stuff, of purses and shoes and blanket or cushions and whatever it was. I did buy a wallet there, but a lot of great stuff there. And one of the interesting things that they told us was that you can tell if something is genuine leather or not. You can tell if it's genuine if you hold a flame to it and it doesn't burn. Artificial leather will burn, but natural leather will not, which I thought was pretty interesting, and they showed that to us. So after we went to the tannery, we went to the scarf making place, and they showed us how to make the scarf, which seems like a lot of work. And they showed us how to tie the scarf on as a turban. And here's a couple pictures of me in some traditional Moroccan dress and with the turban on, with the scarf on. And yeah, that's what I used in the desert, which will be in the next episode. That evening, we ended the long and busy day in Fez, but a fun day in Fez, by going to a friend of our trip leader, Sarah's. We went to their house, and it was really, really cool to go into an actual family's house, for them to welcome us in, to share their culture with us. It was a ton of fun. We got to learn all about the different clothing in Morocco. We got to learn about some of the traditions, and they taught us how to make chicken pastilla, which is a common and popular dish in Morocco. And you'll see a picture of me with mine without the almonds. It's usually made with almonds, but I'm allergic, so I had a special one. And then I have the Fez hat and a traditional Moroccan clothing on as well. And then they played some music for us, which was amazing. So all in all, it was an awesome evening. Really, really cool to be there in an actual family's house and learn, what life is actually like there. So it was really rewarding, and I think we all really enjoyed it. So that was the end of our time in Fez. The next morning, we got up to head out to the Sahara, which will be next week's episode. Yeah, the mighty Sahara Desert. That was definitely a highlight of the trip, and I'm excited to share it with y'all next week.